Hey guys, just a quick word about our wonderful sponsors over at Cost Price Supplements. You can go there for all your protein needs. So they have the famous protein water, which is the Protein Perfection, which is exclusive. They have the jellies, all your supplement needs such as protein shakes, pre-workouts. They've also got all your BN multivitamins as well. And the best thing is even if you are on a budget, they also have Afterpay, which is great for Australians. If you are interested and are wanting to top up on your supplements, make sure you jump onto costpricesupplements.com.au, have a browse through the website, put everything in your shopping cart that you need, and when you get to the checkout section, use code word WLS Family. It gets you 15% off. Now, obviously, it excludes some items like Quest bars, Optifast, books and samples. But if you're wanting to top up on like your pre-workout or you wanted to try the protein waters out, go for it. Again, it's costpricesupplements.com.au.
And welcome back once again. Yes, it's true. It's damn true. We are back for a second week in a row. We're not taking another break. Although I think Chantelle has. Chantelle, are you there? Chantelle? Chantelle?
I'm here.
Oh, I probably should be able to see you because you're sitting right next to me.
Can I
Probably not as close as last week.
No, you were in my face last week.
You were in my face, mate.
Can I request annual leave for Christmas?
Not from here.
Why?
We've got Christmas episodes. Oh. It'll require you doing all the Christmas songs by yourself.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
You got to sing carols. Considering our mums both are called Carol, it's going to be high expectations.
Okay. I want an ugly jumper this year. Don't know what that's got to do with caroling, but it just came into my head.
You want an ugly Christmas sweater?
Yeah.
Right. Anything
like
in
the
particular?
most ugliest one ever.
Anything in particular?
I want the Collingwood one, but we won't get there.
So you don't want anything like any particular animal on it or anything like that?
No, I reckon
I'm very surprised you're not asking for cats on them.
You didn't let me finish.
Is that what you were going to say?
I would like a cat with tinsel as a collar and a little hat on it. And
well, you've got a choice. You can have that or you can have a Christmas tree.
I'll take the Christmas tree.
Why?
Let's get back to it. Because we're going completely off thing. And I want to ask a question too about when we have breaks and stuff like that, because I have a question for the listeners.
Oh, is that right? Well, the listeners know that we go on a bit of a tangent sometimes, but let's start with our non-sleeve story of the week. What about you, Chantelle? You go first because, you're the most important one.
I'm 10 days non-smoking.
10 days?
10 days. No cigaretto in my mouth, though.
No cigaretto in your mouth, though?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been on Champix for 4 weeks now.
And how's that going for you, mate?
I'm struggling. The nausea, oh my God. I feel sorry for you for the day when I actually do get pregnant and we get to the stage of morning sickness because you're going to hate me. I hate this nausea now.
What do you mean I have to wait till then to hate you? I would never hate you, baby.
Thanks.
Ever.
Thanks. Spare room bed's made, mate.
Nice. Well.
10 days cigarette free. I was sick last week. I was in hospital last week. Got a bit
But not for that reason.
No, I got stomach flu.
Oh.
So.
That sounds a bit gross.
It was gross. My intestines were...
Did that have something to do with your gastrectomy or gas sleevery or... What am I trying to say? Your sleeve.
I don't think so.
Well, just as well.
But it didn't make me go to the toilet for a while, so...
Oh.
I did actually go on Friday.
Oh, that's graphic. That's nice to know.
I didn't actually finish it. I was hoping the chili I ate today will help push the rest of it through. So let's just wait and see. Fingers and toes crossed for Shan, guys. Pray for Shan.
Pray for Shan. Hashtag
pray for Shan.
Pray for Shan. For myself, we got to watch Blade Runner 2049. So I'm people who know me very well would know that I used to be a film student. And still one of my big passions is film. And Blade Runner is one of my favourite movies of all time. So to come out with a sequel was exciting. I didn't think it measured up to the first one, but it certainly was entertaining. It went for nearly 3 hours though, which is a bit of a struggle. They kept along the same theme as the original, which was really good. I liked some of the things that they kept on the original baseline of the story, and they still tried to confuse people, which was also really good. I love those little twists in stories as well, so that was really good for me. But that's my non-sleeve story of the week.
Cool.
Being able to see Blade Runner sequel. So, Shan, let's get right down to it. What is the theme of our episode this week?
We're going to talk about protein today, and I'm not talking about human protein. We're going to talk about normal protein, because we know we're not marking this episode as explicit, and I always make a joke about protein, but we won't go there.
Wow. I wasn't even inkling towards that, and I think we're going to lose some listeners, to be perfectly honest. That is way down the wrong track. But
let's just edit it. Edit it out.
No editing today. No editing today. You're going to have to live with it.
No, do you know why I'm laughing? Because I remember when we were first linked and I was looking for like protein shakes. Someone posted one that had sperm in it. And I was like, is this real? Like, do I ask you to put it in a cup for me or?
Wow. Yeah, this episode has started off exceptionally well. But let's get back onto it and let's pretend we didn't talk about
human
protein.
I need a moment.
No.
I need a moment.
No more moments for you, mate. I think you've taken up everyone's moment with that kind of little story.
Oh, I'm dying.
So, anyway, getting back onto the importance of protein, and this is something... Oh, wow. This is something that is definitely important to all weight loss patients, especially in the diet stage. And most people will start on an OptiSlim or OptiFast diet or a shake diet, and you know most people know them as protein shakes. So obviously that is to help you burn a lot of fat, or basically reduce your appetite and have it kind of a natural appetite suppressor, so to speak. But Chantelle, what more should we really know about protein and why it's important?
So I've always been very strong on protein, as you know, because you live with me, and I really do a lot of the meal prepping in the house. And the first thing I always stress to anyone is I don't care what I put on your plate, you start with your protein first. A lot of people really don't understand the importance of protein, especially after having bariatric surgery, because it is such an important part of your diet afterwards. Why do you think we need the protein?
Well, I mean, like, I'm not overly educated on the advanced needs for protein. I mean, certainly from a basic point of view, I would just imagine for me that it helps keep that energy growing or energy burning in your body. It's not natural, and like it's not full energy like a carb or something like that, but it's a longer burning form of food. From what I understand, it's the longest form of.
But there's a key word you just said: food.
Yeah.
So your dietary choices that you make on your journey are either going to make you or they're going to break your weight loss success.
Yeah.
So your weight loss surgery does a lot to support you with your efforts, like physically. Obviously restricting how much food you can eat at one time and help suppress your appetite around the day. But hunger is only one factor that influences your dietary choices.
Yeah, of course.
So for me, and like today, if you're on my Snapchat, you would have seen I had a donut, but most days I eat a lot of protein.
Yeah.
Having a really strong eating strategy on this journey will send you for success, especially after you've gone through your first 4 weeks of post-op. The reason I wanted to stress this out, because there's a lot of newbies that are going through this, but there's a lot of people at the moment in the community that are stalling. And it's like, how about you go back to basics? Like, cut all the quick, easy meals out. Go back and let's talk about what we know with our food groups. So, as I was mentioned before, with like an eating strategy, you need that because it's to ensure that you're making the right choices with your intake. And it's to make sure that you can overcome any mental cravings or know what your emotional eating cues are.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Okay.
So, now, part of this is going to be so you can keep an eye on what you're having, so you can become more accountable for, like, I don't know, food labeling and being more aware of what you're actually putting into your body.
Yeah.
And I do this. I'm one of those weirdos that will pick something up and have a look at the back of it to see how much is in it.
Yeah.
Just like the Chobani flip yogurts when everyone went nuts about them.
Yeah.
I saw how much sugar was in them and I was like, no.
But is it also the case, like, I mean, it might be going a little bit off the track that you're going, but is protein more the case that it will actually keep you full for longer?
Yes, and I'm going to get there.
Okay.
So, protein is the building block of muscles, and it is one of the biggest aspects of a healthy diet. After your weight loss surgery, protein becomes even more important because you have that limited space. So, if you have a really good team, like a really good bariatric team with your dietitian, they should have already like pumped this into you and told you, you know, you got to have this first, you got to have that, then you have that. Just like portion perfection. Protein, veggies, carbs. Carbs last. Carbs always last.
But carbs is for that quick fire energy.
Correct.
Yeah,
now, if
right.
you're going to the gym all the time, then go nuts because you're going to need it.
Well, you wouldn't want to go nuts because doesn't carbs also store in your body?
It does, but we're talking about protein. Stop talking about carbs.
But I'm just saying.
We'll talk about carbs
we don't want to
another day.
load up on carbs.
So, following, like when you've had your procedure, obviously the amount of calories that you can eat per sitting and per day are limited now. So this means that when you do eat, that you need to make sure that you're making the best choices and that you're getting the maximum nutrients out of every single bite. That's why, like, when I want snacks, I have meat in the fridge, or I have jerky, or I have yogurt or something.
Yeah.
When it comes to protein intake, it's not something you can jump into overnight. You have to make adjustments along the way, especially even when you go out and eat socially. Like, it's actually funny. We were talking about this today.
Yeah.
When we were talking about if we go out for dinner somewhere, even with family, I can't eat fries anymore.
Yeah.
I hate it. And I said, if anyone came up to me and said, would you like fries or salad? I would be more than happy to take the salad. Asked me 2 years ago, I still would have tried fries. And it's about changing your mindset now.
Yeah, for sure. But it's also, I mean, it's also depending on how food sits in your stomach. Like for instance, fries is a good example. Like, I find that, you know, starch doesn't...
There's no nutritional value in them.
Well, not really, no. It's just more of one of those natural energy burners that gives you quick energy. But I find that it sits really... it's almost like sitting low on my stomach, and I'm like, ugh. And
you feel like gluggy?
It hits... Yeah, it's a good like slang term to use, I suppose. But it's something that hits you later. Whereas I find protein... Like, if I'll have a steak... You know, I won't necessarily get a sauce with it because, once again, this sauce is not necessarily adding anything to you apart from taste. But the steak will sit differently and I'll feel full on that steak after dinner. So, whereas if you just get a bunch of chips, you'll feel like crap and then you'll be hungry later.
So that's like you... Look, I'm not perfect. I have days where I'll eat something and I'll regret it, but I get on with it. Like, we're human. Like, I'm not a robot sitting here saying you must eat protein first. Like,
and nobody can survive. I mean, not nobody, but it's very rare that you'll find someone who survives purely on just protein and natural vegetables or salads.
Adams?
Well, as I say, it's rare. It's, you know, people who are dedicated to that lifestyle, you know, and they've been doing that for a while, or a health expert or a chef or whatever, they've just gone down that healthy lifestyle, they'll be used to that and they'll know what they have to eat and they'll know what they'll get nutritional value out of. But I mean, our community, we were put into the situation that we were in for a reason, because of the way we ate, or because of a medical reason, and we didn't quite know which path to go down. So I don't think any of us out of the community will be able to survive purely on just protein and natural and healthy ingredients. You're always going to want something sweet, or something carby, or something something.
Don't get me, like I said, like everyone's human, and there's days where
I like fructose. Fructose?
What?
Yeah, sugar.
Oh, okay. Well, back
a natural sweet.
So when I was talking about, why it's so important, and people say, why is it? It's because it's part of every cell. It's a part of every tissue in your body, and it's a part of every organ in your body. Proteins are constantly being broken down, so you constantly need to replace them. If you aren't eating enough protein, then you may not have enough of this nutrient for your body to be able to rebuild muscle, which is crucial because you're on a mission right now, focusing on your health and focusing on your weight loss. When I was talking before about protein adjustments, main thing that you need to understand is think what we used to be like 3 years ago. If I went to family dinner and it was a roast, I would eat the mashed potato first. I would then eat some of the meat, and then I'd eat the vegetables.
Yeah, okay.
If someone put the roast in front of me now, I would eat the meat and maybe a spoonful of vegetables. You need to try and eat your protein first and ensure that you eat it before you fill up that stomach, because once you're full, you're full. You don't have a little bit of room, I can squeeze it in. With us, that one bite could be one bite too many.
But that food will also last longer because of the protein.
Exactly. And, stick to lean proteins, that are really low in calories, but they're really high in nutrient value. So, like grilled chicken or turkey. Like, I get turkey from the deli. I love it. And I'll just chuck it with some cheese if I'm hungry. Like, after a gym session, I just have some turkey and cheese. Or use protein supplements, protein shakes, just to balance it out. So, but I'll get to that in a second.
It just burns slower and lasts longer.
It does. Now, what we a few more of these, which I've actually researched as well. Don't think I know everything. I've actually researched before we've done this episode. So, protein should be included in all of your meals after surgery, as it provides obviously a lot of benefits to weight loss patients. So, it aids in proper wound healing after surgery. Helps keep your skin, hair, bones and nails healthy. Helps form hormones, enzymes and immune system antibodies that helps your body function effectively. Helps your body burn fat instead of muscle for healthier weight loss. That line is actually in capitals and is highlighted.
Yeah.
It supports your metabolism so you'll lose weight quicker, and it helps curb hunger between meals.
Yeah.
And again, because we've obviously got a reduced capacity of our stomach to a really small volume, high protein foods should always be eaten first, or you'll become too full to eat them.
Yeah.
There are some people who, perfect example, when we went out last night for dinner with some of the sleevers and bypass people, I felt that I ate very minimal to what everyone else ate. I've always said to you, I feel like my pouch is much smaller than what yours is. Sometimes it's really difficult to consume enough protein from foods, like whole foods.
Yeah.
Especially during the first couple of months after surgery as well. I know I struggled. I was actually told to introduce liquid protein, so supplements.
Yeah, protein shake.
Yeah. Just add it into your diet to meet the daily protein requirements.
So it's kind of meeting your calorie need, your nutrient need, along with keeping your appetite suppressed.
Correct. And you know that it's not doing any harm if you have it.
Oh, it's not natural, but it's chemically put together with natural supplements.
Yeah, and it's a
Is that
convenient...
even right? Did what I say sound right? Either way, what you said is fine. Don't listen to me.
Well,
you're the expert, mate.
I'm not an expert.
Check out Chantelle Fleming, expert on protein, and send your messages now. $9.99 per minute. Anyway, go on.
Are we talking about protein or human protein again?
Oh, mate, come on.
So, what you need to do, you need to follow everything, obviously, your dietitian says, like post-surgery. Now, keep in mind that plant-based proteins don't provide the complete proteins we need.
And what are some of those plant-based proteins?
We're going to get there because I'm going to go through the top 20 high protein list.
Okay.
A complete protein is essentially amino acid, and that's mostly found in animal sources. Plant protein should be used together with animal protein to obviously, give you the best essential amino acids that your body needs. So when you are choosing animal proteins, they say to choose lower fat lean meats like skinless chicken, turkey, pork chops or loin or beef, sirloin or real.
Sorry, what was that, mate?
Have some beef, mate.
Beef?
I'll just have a side of beef.
Beef.
As for like intake, it obviously varies depending on who's having it. Everyone's needs are individually put out there. I'm not the same as Grant. Grant's not the same as say,
anyone.
Anyone.
You don't have to use anybody specifically.
And it also comes down to like your surgery type too. Like that's a big thing. And the diet, and I'm putting brackets in the air right now, that you've been put on. Basic guidelines include an average of around 60 to 80 grams a day for women and about 70 to 90 grams for men.
Protein.
Yes.
Pure protein. Right, okay.
I don't get anywhere near that sometimes, depending if I have a shake or not.
So what if I have a 250-gram steak?
I don't think that counts.
Why?
Because you don't eat the whole thing.
What if I did?
I don't know, mate. But it's also it's also important to remember that more is not always better. So try not to exceed the range. So try not to exceed them little guidelines.
So those numbers are minimum?
Yes.
Right, okay.
It's an average of like 60 to 80 for women and 70 to 90 for men.
Minimum?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So they're saying kind of like for men, don't go over 90.
But you got to think of how many things have protein in it as well.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know.
But we're going to get to that, aren't we?
We are going to get to that.
Oh, you see, I knew you were thinking that way.
The only thing they say, like if people do want to exceed it, make sure that you check with your dietitian and physician first. Excess protein intake will actually result in it being stored as fat and you're going to put weight on.
So if I had 6 protein shakes in a day...
Are you going to be working out that much? Probably
No.
not. You're going to start putting weight on.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Don't have 6 protein shakes a day.
Oh, but I like my protein shakes. I must admit I don't really. I'm kind of over them. But they're a good source of... Well, they're a good alternative. Mm-hmm. And they're good for post-gym workouts to help promote
muscles.
the regeneration of your muscles and recover your muscles, yes. So tell us some of the... Well, you might have some notes that you're about to go on to, but I was going to say, tell us some... a list of proteins that we might not know.
So I've done some research on like the top 20 high protein foods to eat, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to go through them and discuss if they're actually in our diet or not. And then the listeners as well can kind of have a think and go, do I have that? Can I introduce that? So it's a really basic episode. I wanted to keep it basic. As I said, I've seen in the community at the moment that a lot of people are struggling. People are regaining. People aren't happy with the scale because the scale's not moving. Let's go back to basics.
Yeah.
So have a guess what number 1 is.
Red meat.
No.
Oh.
Eggs. Whole eggs are the healthiest and one of the most nutritious foods on the planet because it's loaded with vitamins, healthy fats, antioxidants, brain nutrients that most people don't get enough of. Obviously, I need more for the brain stuff. But whole eggs are high in protein, but egg whites are almost pure protein.
Oh, wow.
So there's actually the protein content, 35% of calories in a whole egg. So one large egg contains 6 grams of proteins.
There you go. I have so many eggs.
No, you don't. You don't even like eggs.
Mate, eggs are my most favourite.
I actually got told to calm down with my eggs.
You did?
At the doctor's.
Yeah.
Cholesterol.
Yeah, so that's one thing you would have to watch with your eggs.
So you know how we were talking before about how you shouldn't exceed?
Yeah,
that's what happens. I went a bit overboard with having protein all the time. And
well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, your doctor went a little bit overboard with her reaction. Your cholesterol wasn't... It was...
0.2.
Like 0.2 above normal. So...
But yeah. I know that I eat good, and I know it's because I was eating 2 boiled eggs every day.
Yeah. But, so, I mean, maybe you don't do it every day.
No, I don't. I don't. So I've calmed down on that.
Number 2?
Almonds.
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 You person from the UK, you.
So they are loaded with fibre, nutrients, vitamin E, manganese, and magnesium. In 6 grams per 1 ounce, so around 28 grams. Hang on.
Read that again.
The protein content, 6 grams per 28 gram serving.
Okay. That's what it says.
Yeah, so that's when they say you should only have like a little handful of them. But people, like, a handful to me is like, I'll just go through the whole bag.
So that's the thing with nuts, though. Like, you do eat them and they do fill you up. So, number 3?
Chicken breast. Without the skin.
Yeah, the skin doesn't really do any good.
No.
The skin's pretty much just fat. So 1
roasted chicken breast without skin contains 53 grams of protein and only 284 calories.
Yeah, so like a normal dinner.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't even be able to eat a full chicken breast. Well,
no.
I wouldn't be able to. I'd probably be able to do half.
Depends on how it's cooked as well.
I'm not a fan of breast. I'm more of a thigh girl now. It dries out too quickly.
Yeah, it does. But it's good to know. That'd be the same with chicken thigh. You just need to make sure you cut the fat out. It wouldn't be as high in protein or calorie content because they're smaller. But as long as the thigh does contain a lot of fat. So if you've cut out a lot of the fat, then yeah, you still got your high protein content in there. So yeah. Number 4?
Oats.
Where's red meat on this bloody thing?
You're just upset that red meat's not there yet.
Exactly. Anyway, oats.
Yeah, so oats are among the healthiest grains on the planet. So your fibres, magnesium, manganese, vitamin B1, and several other ones. So half a cup of raw oats contains 13 grams of protein.
Number 5?
You won't believe this because I didn't. Cottage cheese.
They would like have brought a tear to your eye because you just saw the word cheese.
And I've got cottage cheese in the fridge, so it made me really happy. However, it is loaded with calcium, phosphorus, selenium, vitamin B12, vitamin B2, and various other ones. A cup, so around 226 grams of cottage cheese, contains 27 grams of protein with only 194 calories.
There's a lot of nutrients in there.
I don't even think about that stuff. But I've actually started reading labels and stuff now and looking at what's in stuff. Other types of cheeses that are actually really high in protein. So Parmesan cheese, Swiss cheese, mozzarella, and cheddar. Your highest one is actually Parmesan.
Oh, there you go. Next on the list?
Greek yogurt.
Really? I mean, I knew yogurt, but yeah,
it's a very thick type of yogurt, which makes sense because it would fill you up quicker.
Yeah.
Tastes delicious. I love it. It has a really creamy texture. A non-fat Greek yogurt has protein at 48% of calories. So 170 gram container has 17 grams of protein. But just make sure that you choose one without added sugar.
Okay, right. Okay,
because full-fat Greek yogurt is very high in protein, but has a lot more calories. So just like we were talking about the Chobani before, like, yeah, okay, the yogurt's good, but there's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of other stuff in it.
Right, okay.
Have a guess what number 7 is?
Red meat.
No.
Oh.
Milk.
Milk, really?
Milk So it's really nutritious, highly nutritious. But the protein is that huge percent. A lot of people are intolerant to it, though.
Does it dictate what type of milk or just any milk?
Whole milk.
So full fat milk.
Full fat milk. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's obviously got your calcium and you know, your B12 and stuff that you need. The protein content, 1 cup of whole milk contains 8 grams of protein.
There you go.
With only 149 calories.
Just obviously you've got your disadvantage with the fat content.
And
that's why people go light milk and A1 protein.
But if you were measuring everything out, you could still have it.
Yeah, of course.
Except people that are intolerant. Like sometimes I get soy milk. Which yeah. Number 8. Have a guess.
Red meat.
No.
Why you ask me to guess then?
It's your second most favourite thing.
Lamb?
Broccoli.
Yeah, love the broccoli.
Broccoli is one of the most highest loaded vegetables. Vitamin C, K, fibre, potassium. It's got bioactive nutrients. Don't even know what that means, but it has bioactive, so it must mean it's got like superpowers. 1 cup of broccoli contains 3 grams of protein.
Oh, there you go.
Number 9 is lean beef.
Lean beef. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, is 85 grams roughly is about 22 grams of protein.
Yep. Number
10 is tuna.
Oh. How many grams of fat? How many grams of fat? How many grams of protein in that one?
1 cup, so 154 grams roughly, contains 39 grams of protein.
Right. Just rattle off the 11 to 20.
11 is quinoa.
Yep.
12 is whey/protein supplements.
Oh, okay. So an actual protein supplement. Right, okay.
So like your shakes.
Yep.
13 is lentils.
Yep.
4 is...
14.
14, is pumpkin seeds.
Oh, wow, okay.
16 is turkey breast.
You missed 15.
Oops, sorry, that was 15. Sorry, turkey breast. 16 is fish.
Fish is that low?
Mm-hmm, all types.
Fair enough, it's still high in protein, but I just didn't expect it to be that low in the top 20.
17 is shrimp, so prawns.
Yep.
18 is Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
19 is peanuts.
And the number 20?
Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel bread.
Never heard of it.
Never have I. I'm guessing it might be like the Bergen's bread that I get.
Bergen bread, yeah. People will be happy to know that bread's on the list in some form or another. There you go. That's the top 20 on protein, though. So some interesting reading for people. At least they can look that up and see if they can fit that into their diet and, try and get a little bit more protein into their everyday life and if they're struggling to be on there. But, for someone like me, from a guy, just from a meat eater's point of view, and certainly I was a big meat eater pre-surgery and post-surgery as well, it's good to know that you've still got the ability to eat what you did and look after your diet in a good way. So, without having to change too much. For me, changing from like just a standard, standard porterhouse or standard Scotch fillet steak. Oh, you're hitting the microphone there, mate.
Sorry.
You needed people to know you were still there. You can still just go down to lean beef steak, and that's still good enough, especially for the sleevers and the bypass patients and lap band patients, of course, all WLS. Going onto a lean beef steak is absolutely fine. It might not be as thick and juicy as what we're used to, but it's still going to be good enough to be in our diet and keep that appetite suppressed. So
when you said thick and juicy, then I thought of Roxy Andrews from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Why?
Because she was like thick and juicy girls.
Oh my god! But yeah, certainly some interesting parts in there and interesting.
You know what, guys? As well, like we've changed our diet the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And my scales have started going down again.
Yeah, and that's really just getting, as you say,
back to basics,
and it's not trying to overcomplicate things. You don't have to be.
You don't have to go. Oh, I'm going to go on Opti. You don't need to do that. Just go back to basics. Go back to simple food.
You also don't have to be a chef.
No.
I mean, you can make a lot of different things with all those different ingredients.
You can go to Woolies and go get if you're busy, go to Woolies on your way home or go to the chicken shop and grab a chicken. There you go. Well, there's your dinner.
Make sure it's not fried.
No, not fried. Pull the skin off it. You've got your dinner there. Chuck some gravy on it. You've also got some chicken left over for lunches. Just do it.
So really simple things can happen in there, that's for sure. But protein is very important. Obviously, you want to have it as part of a balanced diet. You don't want to just be one type of food all the time. But there's a lot of different things that are, on that high protein list that you can certainly fit in there. And look it up yourselves, guys. Obviously, Chantelle's using a source of her own. It's just research it. Just Google it. Google is one of the most valuable tools that we have.
My social shout out today.
Hang on, I haven't got there yet, mate.
No. I'm just going to pre-warn. I got a lot of this stuff from this person.
Yeah, just settle your horses on the CSS, okay? We'll get there. Don't you worry. We've got that spot reserved for you in the show. But yeah, certainly from my point of view, as someone who's certainly not an expert on food. I mean, I love food. I love cooking. I love doing all different kinds of things. It's good to know that you can actually still balance out your diet, without having to lose some of the things that you've grown up loving in your life, and even pre-surgery. So there's a lot of advantages out there, guys. There's a lot of things that we can do in our lives without having to restrict ourselves. But also making sure that we're making the right changes in our lives to make those scales move if they're not moving in the right direction for you. But just make sure that it is balanced. Anything else you wanted to say on that topic there, Chantelle?
No, just if you're not sure, the internet's there. You got people on Instagram.
Google is your friend.
Google is your friend, and the person I'll be talking to about in a second. She really kicked my ass into gear a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it is really about, if you feel like you're getting off track, just go back to basics. Don't go and do Opti. Don't do any stupid diets. Just go back to basics. Yeah. Protein. Remember, protein is your number one.
Is butter a carb?
All right, Regina George.
Well, without further ado, we will get to
Shan social shout out. Dun, 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 dun. Still waiting, Nick. Still waiting.
I don't know if anybody actually messaged him. Did you message him?
I didn't message him.
Well, it's not really Nick's fault then, is it?
No.
But anyway.
So this lady I have actually been following now probably for about 2 years. I found her to be very inspiring. I engage with her Insta stories very quickly. She's very easy to watch. I don't get spaced out. Her name is Karen. She's actually international. She's not in Australia. She's actually over in Portland, I think, over in the US.
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. So her name is Karen. She is all about body positivity and anti-diet culture. She had a gastric sleeve in June 2014, and she has lost 125 pounds, so kilos. It's around 56, 57 kilos she's lost. She's now a health coach, and she's a personal chef for hire.
Oh, okay.
Her whole concept is about eating real food, not being afraid to get creative. She's actually going to be interviewed by us very soon. We're going to set something up. Her Instagram name is Kiwi the Tattooed Lady. She has a website. She has recipes on there. I was looking at the fried chicken one the other day. There's an oven chicken. There's so many ideas. She's very inspiring. She's very positive, and she's had her own weight loss journey, and I just want to thank her for kicking me into gear and making me realise I don't need to be afraid of food.
All right, well, let's give a round of applause to Karen. Really good stuff. Awesome work on being the shout-out for this week on Shan's Social Shout-Out. All right, guys, well, I think that's it for this week. We're having a shorter episode this week, but certainly it doesn't mean that we haven't got our message across, and we'd like to probably keep you guys engaged as much as possible. So certainly Give us all your feedback. We'd like to hear more from our fans out there. We want this podcast to be run by the community, so please make sure you get a hold of us and give us everything that you've got. Anything else you'd like to say for today, Chantelle?
No, I just hope you guys have a really good week and keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah, really good stuff. All right, that'll do us for the week. So this is Changing Our Ways, signing off.